Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Ms. TV Total Football. Manchester City fans, how you feeling? Manchester City, ladies and gentlemen, they're on a bit of a madness. What is going on over the last couple of days, over the last 48 hours? Mad news. Savinho looks like there's link towards Spurs. Spurs are very interested as well. Savinho maybe is also interested to leave, considering all the competition that's brewing up at Manchester City. But at the same time, there's also now rumors coming out maybe he's not up for sale. Whatever the case is, something is happening there. I always keep saying wherever there is a little bit of smoke, there's a little bit of fire. Grealish, ladies and gentlemen, Jack Grealish, we heard the here we go in the last 24 hours to Everton. So we're going to talk about what happened to Jack Grealish, his career. Oh, my days. I mean, yes, littered with medals and silverware at Manchester City. It's not that difficult to have all of those glory in Manchester City when you've got the team that they have and the manager that they've got and the investments that they've made. Obviously, still a lot of hard work that needs to happen. But Jack Grealish, has he really been as impactful, bar that one season where they won the treble? Really, Jack Grealish, from where he was once upon a time in Aston Villa and what the trajectory was showing, yeah, it's been a massive decline. And now to Everton, wow. And last but not least, where we're going to start things off, it's last but not least in terms of introduction, but we're going to start things off here. Rodrygo. Rodrygo has been the talk of the town, has been the biggest talk, well, besides Isak. Isak's been the biggest talk, but Rodrygo is also another player that is out of favor in Real Madrid, and Xavi Alonso has made it very, very evident and very clear that he's not part of the plans. It is crazy. But then again, when a new manager comes in, it's not foreign to us. These sort of things have happened previously where a new manager comes in, doesn't fancy a player, and then all of a sudden that player who was supposedly meant to be an important player for a club, all of a sudden that player is not importante anymore. So Rodrygo is in the market, and Manchester City, we were all thinking, who's gone for Rodrygo? Is it going to be Arsenal? Is it going to be Liverpool? Hey, Chelsea fans, me included, we were going, hey, let's get Rodrygo. But looks like Manchester City are swooping in, but it all depends, whether Savinho goes or not. Well, Jack Grealish is gone. And we're going to talk about all of this in detail. Now, let's kick things off with Rodrygo, ladies and gentlemen. Fabrizio Romano, I was going to say Pep Guardiola. Fabrizio Romano has been the one who's been talking about this, and I think obviously there is truth behind it. Rodrygo is not in Xavi Alonso's plans moving forward for Real Madrid. More on Rodrygo's story from Monday, because Fabrizio Romano first tweeted on Monday. Pep Guardiola, big fan of the Brazilian and pushing for this option. Manchester City are seriously considering Rodrygo in case of Savinho exit as revealed, and Pep would love to work with him. I mean, it's linked with the Savinho, rumors, obviously. You know what? In one hand, I appreciate how Manchester City, they operate. They bring in talented players. If they don't work out, man, they don't dilly-dally about. They're not in the business of, let's see, for example, like Chelsea fans, you guys know what I'm talking about, and other fans as well, other rival fans as well. You know what I'm talking about. When you bring in a player, for some reason, we all get so attached. We don't want to let them go. Even though we know they're not the standard for this club, we get so attached. We don't want to let them go. But Manchester City, they're not like that. This is not the first time they're thinking about doing something like this to a player, Savinho. If you guys remember, Ferran Torres, I think he only came about for a minute and then he was gone. And they've done that for many other players. Many other players. They recently got a left back. What's his name? Sergio Gomez or something like that. He was gone. He was brought in and everyone thought he was going to be some sort of a mega player. And then he was gone. Pronto. And Savinho, look, I don't know what the real deal is from the bits and pieces that I saw of Savinho last season. He looked like a decent player to me. But maybe Pep Guardiola has seen something in training or feels that he's not ready enough as yet. He is young. He's 21. I believe Rodrygo's 24. And maybe Pep Guardiola has made a quick judgment that, you know what, this is not what we need right now. We need more. And I think the total stats of Savinho last season was 8 assists in the Premier League and 1 goal. Maybe needs more output. And maybe he just doesn't get the same game plan that he wants from Savinho. Perhaps that's the case. Now, if Savinho leaves, Rodrygo, he's definitely, look, Savinho, I thought was a decent player, but Rodrygo obviously is an upgrade. Rodrygo is a stupendous player, man. Stupendous player. He's got the technical ability. He works hard as well. Don't get me wrong. He definitely works hard. And he's going to be a problem. If he goes to Manchester City, and Manchester City needs that creativity, and they've got a lot of creativity now with Ryan Shirky. The midfield is buzzing. They still got Foden. Obviously, they're going to miss that magical touch of KDB, Kevin De Bruyne, but they've got enough talented players to break open a low block now. Don't forget, Jeremy Doku as well is very, very devastating. I know his overall performances hasn't really come up to fruition as yet, but he's young too. But someone like Rodrygo, he'll make a huge difference, on top of all the business that they've already done. He'll make a huge difference. And don't forget Marmoush as well. Marmoush is going to have a stellar season. And they're going to all feed it to Erling Haaland, who's just going to bag a lot of goals. Once again, Erling Haaland will bag goals. And I think this will be the direction. Pep Guardiola will make all of his players aware. You got a huntsman up front. You've got a targetsman up front. Try and feed. Feed him. He'll score goals. He'll make the runs. He'll make those clever movements. Try and find him. So, look, ladies and gentlemen, let's see if Rodrygo goes to Manchester City. Oh, my God. I mean, what's going to be the transfer fee? That's the other factor from Real Madrid. But looks like Real Madrid will entertain this. And if Manchester City are able to get rid of some of the other players as well, including Savinho, they've already got rid of Grealish, then maybe this deal is not quite, it's not that far-fetched. It's probably going to happen. So watch this space, ladies and gentlemen, I think. And Manchester City, they'll be able to afford the wages. Wages are a big factor for Rodrygo. And this is why Chelsea are not probably entertaining this. And Arsenal, they did flirt around with it for a little bit, but they backed away because of his high wages, in excess of 200k, I believe. But I think Manchester City is a club that can do that. Let's see this if it comes to fruition. Manchester City fans, let me know your thoughts. I'm pretty sure you guys are buzzing because he is definitely going to be a game changer. Now, Savinho is happy to move to Spurs. The main motivator, he was left out of the last Brazil squad and sees the move as a positive for more game time. I mean, I was looking at the Manchester City squad. They got a lot of players, man. And of course, they need to get rid of quite a few. And Pep Guardiola said last season, by the time the season finished, he said, look, he ain't going to work with more than, I think, he doesn't want to work with more than 30 players or maybe less. I think maybe 25, 26 he wants to work with. Doesn't want to work with a huge squad because he can't give them game time. And he said that, do you know what, if there is injuries, I'm going to just rely on the academy to bail us out. So, look, Savinho, there's a lot of players now. Ryan Shirky's in the building. Foden is there as well. There's Doku. There's Oscar Bob as well. He's returned back from injury. So maybe Savinho is thinking, you know what? Yeah, maybe my time's up, man. Like, not that my time's up. Like, he can still stick around. I don't think Manchester City are in any rush to get rid of him. It's more the fact that Savinho probably feels, you know what? World Cup season coming up. In order for me to make it to the World Cup squad, I need to play on a regular basis and be an important player. And he will be an important player for Spurs. He will start. He will definitely start for Spurs. There's no two ways about that. Even though Spurs got quite a lot of quality players, of course, but he's definitely going to start. Kudus will start. And don't forget, Maddison is injured for Spurs, and Spurs will look to bolster. And Son left as well. So, there's a large hole that needs to be, needs to be recruited for. So look, once again, let's see what happens. But this is how Manchester City operates. No nonsense football club. If a player is just not working, they don't wait around for season after season after season. They make the quick decision. And if they get the right money, and the quoted price is somewhere around £50 million, I mean, if that's what they get, I don't know whether it's going to be more. I see no reason why this still can't happen. So let's watch this space. I think Spurs will eventually get a good player if it does happen. I do feel Savinho, there's more to him, man. He's young. There's a lot more development still to happen, and he will mature. He's got the ability, man. He's got the technical ability. He's got the pace, and he's already got 1 year under in the Premier League, so he can only improve from here on. But if he goes to Spurs, obviously yeah, I'm not going to be cheering him on. That's for sure. I was saying yesterday actually, and I have a question for you guys in the comment section. Who's a better player, Savinho or Garnacho? No need to get rattled. No, just a simple question, simple answer. I just want to know because a lot of you guys actually rate Garnacho ahead of Savinho. For me, I think Savinho is a far better player. Now, check this out, ladies and gentlemen. Jack Grealish has completed his medical as new Everton player on loan from Manchester City with 50 million buy option. I believe a large part of the wages are also going to be covered by Everton. I mean, wow, who goes from Manchester City to Everton? I mean, no disrespect to Everton, Evertonians or Everton fans out there. Comment if there are any Everton fans watching this. I mean, yes, you get yourself a good player. In theory, hypothetically, you do get yourself a good player, but I think this player is going through some sort of issues off field, off football. I think he's going through some sort of problems. Obviously, drinking is one that is getting talked about a lot. Is there a drinking problem? I don't know. We shall see. But look, his career at Manchester City last season, he barely played. Yes, there was injuries here and there. There was also off-field dramas here and there. But there were also times where he just didn't get picked. He simply didn't get picked. And I think Pep Guardiola is not ready for any of this nonsense anymore this season. He wants to get rid of any players that needs too much babysitting. You don't want them anymore. It's a serious football club that's going for serious things. They want to win trophies. They don't want problems. And looks like it's probably a good move for Jack Grealish as well, in the sense that his career at Manchester City had dwindled and it was coming to an end, and it has now come to an end. Everton, is that the right place for him? I don't know, man. I don't know. From Manchester City to Everton, you'd think maybe Spurs would have been the next move for him and it would have worked out, or even Aston Villa, back to Aston Villa. But Everton, look, maybe they might surprise quite a few people. David Moyes, he was doing well with Everton late last season, from mid-season onwards, whenever David Moyes kind of took over. And maybe Jack Grealish could reignite his career, but whatever is bothering him outside of football needs to disappear quickly. Because, if this carries on at Everton as well, I'm scared. We all know what happened to Dele Alli. What a talent he was once upon a time, disappeared so quickly. And I still remember what Jose Mourinho said. One day you're 24 or 25 or 20, whatever the case he said, whatever the age, next thing you know, you're his age. Life goes real quick, man. Jack Grealish, yes, at least what Jack Grealish can say is he won a lot of trophies, won a lot of medals. Dele Alli can't say that. But Jack Grealish, there's still so much to give, man. What a player he was at Aston Villa, and what a player he's now at the moment is shadow of himself. And he can only blame himself. Whatever is happening to him outside of football, take control of it. Yes, it's easier said than done, but take control of it and become the player that once everyone thought you would be back when he's in the Aston Villa days. And if he can be that player again for Everton, I think Everton will turn out to be a bit of a problem. So let's see what happens. I think this upcoming season, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a banger. It really will be an absolute banger. There's some good teams, quality players in them. And like always, the Premier League, man, it ain't easy. It ain't easy. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts about everything we spoke about. Manchester City on a bit of madness. How you feel, man? How you feel? Rivals, let me know. Are you scared of Manchester City? I'm a little bit scared. I won't even lie. But I think we can go toe-to-toe as a Chelsea fan. But other rival fans, comment. And Manchester City fans, how are you feeling about your transfer business so far this window? Rodrygo, what are you thinking? Smash up the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe. Hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Until next time, take care. See ya.